Hello, everybody, and happy Saturday. Welcome to our live. This is about the immigration reform update, what happened yesterday in the Senate. Just wanted to give you a quick overview. I know we had a lot of questions from our viewers, and I don't usually make a lot of these reform updates, but there's quite a few other attorneys who make really good videos. But I wanted to come on in this video, summarize it a little bit with a few points for you guys, and hopefully that will answer a lot of questions that we get on the channel in the comments every single day. So once again, welcome to our live. If you are here for the first time, my name is Jacob Sapochnick, and I'm an immigration attorney located in San Diego, California. And we produce videos every single week about immigration, and this one is no different. So let's jump right in. We'll talk about the immigration reform update, and I've got some good news for you guys. So I summarized it for you in 7 points, and let me go over here. So I summarized it in 7 points, and just to make it easier for you, and you can drop your comments. Welcome Shivukar, Gavinir, Kapil from California. Drop your names in the comments. Let me know where you're tuning in from. And we'll start, I thought it would be easier kind of to summarize it in 7 points to make it easier. Democrats made the case yesterday for immigration reform in the $3.5 trillion spending bill. And this is what it looks like. So they argued yesterday to include legalization for millions of immigrants in their $3.5 trillion bill to expand the country's social safety net. Again, the idea was to make the argument as to why they should be including immigration in the spending bill. Point number 2. It was an important meeting because it was with the Senate's parliamentarian, Elizabeth McDonough, which, by the way, used to be an immigration attorney, and she understands how it works. She understands how the system works. The idea was to kind of give her all the layout, give her an explanation as to why it is important to include that. And so they argued for a path for legalization for an estimate of about 8 million immigrants. So I'm going to talk in a second who's going to be included. And once again, those of you that are joining in right now, we are talking about what happened yesterday at the Senate hearing, trying to argue for immigration to be included in the spending bill. This is going to cover about 8 million immigrants with an opportunity to apply for green cards. And of course, they wanted to show that it will have a major economic impact, because that's the whole point of trying to include that into that package. They're obviously hoping that Elizabeth McDonough, the Senate's parliamentarian, will be convinced and will allow them to include this in the complicated process known as reconciliation, which is really what we are talking about right now. Now, remember that for this to be included in reconciliation, we have to show that it is something that will be beneficial, will have an impact, an economic impact, and therefore it's vital for them to include that. Point number 3, what happens in this process, actually, because everybody is a little bit confused about it. So what happens in this process, Democrats can pass legislation with just a simple majority. So it's going to make things much easier if they can do that. Of course, they have to prove that the law they're trying to pass is more than just an incidental impact on the country's bottom line. And in this case, they're going to be able to show that it's going to be a huge economic impact if they can bring more than 8 million people into our society, essentially get them to be part of Social Security, start paying taxes. It's going to have an enormous economic impact, and that's what they're trying to do. Point number 4 is the Democratic aides argued that allowing recipients of the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrival program, who is going to be included in those 8 million. Not everybody is going to be included, but specifically beneficiaries of the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrival program. People with temporary protected status right now. We've got quite a few people that are in this country with TPS. They're going to be included as well. Farm workers whoever be included as farm worker, the definition for farm workers will be expanded as well, and many of them will be included, as well as essential workers. A lot of people in the healthcare sector, a lot of people that are working in grocery stores, and we'll get more details once it passes. But it's a fairly large amount of people that could be included in this, and this is huge. Point number 4, and of course we can, they'll be part of our different programs, Social Security, Medicaid, Medicare, and of course they'll become taxpayers, which is going to bring a lot of funding to the government. Number 5, the effort to include this immigration in the Democrats' economic agenda faces obviously long odds. Everybody's asking, when is it going to happen? Is it sure? But of course, it shows that it is definitely one of the best ways, and it gives us a lot of hope for doing something on this issue. It comes after a months-long battle to reach some sort of a deal that fell apart before. Point number 6, Democrats estimate that their legislation would make, as I mentioned before, estimate roughly about 8 million immigrants eligible for green cards, for legal permanent residency. Now remember, once they pass that, it's not going to be obviously automatic. They're going to go into a path as to when and how they're going to become green card holders, but it's going to be something that we tried for over a decade and it failed, and it's going to go back to a previous legislation from 2013 that didn't work. Point number 7, when is this going to happen? Well, it's not clear when the Senate parliamentarian is going to rule on this, right? Again, we are looking at the deadline of September 15th to present some sort of legislation. This, in the past, this kind of ruling, after multiple representations by Republicans and Democrats, and aides suggest that they've been given no assurances when a decision will be made. But it seems like one aide mentioned that it may not happen ahead of the markup in the House Judiciary Committee, which is supposed to be taking place around September 15th. So what is clear is that this effort is one of the last opportunities. Remember, everybody's asking me, when is immigration reform going to pass? Well, this is one of the last opportunities for Democrats to pass substantial immigration reform in Biden's first year in office. While the White House has argued immigration is a top priority, Democrats lack the 60 votes needed in the Senate to pass legislation, and in the House, members of the Congressional Hispanic Caucus have acknowledged that reconciliation provides the clearest path forward. So, what does it mean to you? What does it mean to you? It means that it's definitely something that is going to move us forward in so many ways. Now, we don't know exactly what's going to happen at the end of the day. We don't know if it's going to pass fully, but we do believe that we are very, very close to something major. Now, we've got a lot of people that are, calling, texting, and saying, well, I've been here undocumented for 20 years. I don't have DACA, I don't have TPS. When is the big amnesty going to pass? Well, remember, if this is not going to pass, if this mini reform, which will include DACA and TPS and farm workers, if that's not going to pass, there's no way that a larger amnesty style is going to pass. Because if they're not going to be able to help the DACA, which are clearly eligible, they're already a part of our society, how are they going to be able to pass a full-blown amnesty? So for those people that are waiting, I tell them that it's going to look more or less something like that, where there's not going to be no amnesty that I can think of anytime soon. There's no amnesty, forget about that. But some sort of reform, a piecemeal reform for TPS, for DACA, for farm workers, for essential workers, possibly could pass in 2022. It is something that I truly believe could happen. And obviously we are here looking forward to updating you on this. And once again, guys, if you're here for the first time watching this video, make sure you subscribe to our channel. Make sure you like this video so more people are going to be able to see this. More and more people are going to be able to like this video, be able to share this and share it with people that actually could benefit from this. Now, so many changes. I mean, I provided videos about the State Department, what's happening with embassies and consulates. Things are still slow. Next week, we're going to be releasing more video updates. I promise you, more video updates to tell you what's going to happen with this. But changes are happening on the State Department side. Changes are happening on the USCIS side. But remember, this backlog that we are facing right now is going to take over a year to catch up. Over a year to catch up, both on the State Department side and on the USCIS side. Therefore, passing some sort of a reform like this is going to be essential. It's going to be essential, and I do hope that we'll be able to provide some better news, maybe even next week, and of course in the months to come before the end of the year. So once again, guys, thank you for joining us. We have a lot of people on here. Maybe I'll take a couple of questions just to kind of, because you're live. So Jasmine says, I have a question. Will my petition for my kids and grandkids become null and void once I become naturalized? My kids are derivative and waiting to be documentary qualified. So remember that, and that's a good question. If you are deviating from what you're documentary qualified, so for example, if you're an unmarried son of a U.S. citizen, then you got married through the process, you will lose your petition. And so it's important to stick with your preference until you actually get your green card. We've got a lot of people here. We've got Lena from Russia. Welcome, Lena. We've got a lot of people watching from the Philippines, from Texas. Natalie is asking, who can I get help me to fill DACA forms? Well, Natalie, all you have to do is send us a text message right here, 619-483-4549, and set up a consultation. And also, guys, remember, at the bottom of the screen, you can see immigrationu.com. This is our community for people that need help with the immigration journey. If you're by yourself doing your cases, or if you have an attorney and you don't get answers, sign up for immigrationu.com. It's a membership. We have video tutorials, case samples, and Zoom calls every single Thursday with an attorney to answer your questions. So make sure you take advantage of this opportunity and join our community. That's the best way to get help. Victor, when are you going to post videos on Embassy's update? I'm going to make a video this week. This week I'm doing a full video on Embassy's update just for you guys, so stay tuned. And once again, thanks again for watching. This was a video specifically for an update on immigration reform, which I know many of you are asking and interested. So I hope you enjoyed this video. And once again, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. And if you need help from me, just text me, or you can find us on Instagram. We're always there supporting, providing videos, and we are here for you guys. Thanks a lot. Enjoy the weekend, and I'll see you next video.